In 1989, the U.S. Navy was listening to Soviet submarines on the seafloor, but recorded a sound that shouldn't exist. A whale was crying at a frequency of 52 Hertz. The problem is, no whale in the world can hear this frequency. Every cry of it is screaming into the silence of the entire ocean. What's even more bizarre is that no human has seen it in 30 years. No photos, no images, no corpse. It's like a ghost that has never been proven to exist, but it has been crying on the seabed for 30 years. After listening to the recording, marine biologists said a word, "This is the loneliest sound on Earth." But today, I want to tell you not only this whale, but those living on Earth are lonelier than the dead. Their endings are 10,000 times more cruel than you think. The story begins with the Cold War. After the end of World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union launched a silent war underwater. The U.S. Navy spent billions of dollars on the floor of the Pacific Ocean, laid a network of hydrophones called saucers to monitor the movements of Soviet nuclear submarines. How sensitive is the system? A fish sneezed hundreds of kilometers away, it could record it. After the Cold War, in 1992, the U.S. military partially declassified and handed it over to marine scientists. Scientists were excited. It was like getting a pair to hear the entire Pacific Ocean. They began to use it to record whale songs. The low hum of blue whales, the pulse of the fin whale, and the melodies of humpback whales were all captured. But among all these sounds, there was a lonely frequency at 52 Hertz. The first person to discover it was William Watkins, a scientist at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, and also in the world, the inventor of the world's first underwater recording system. He started tracking it in 1989, tracking it for more than 10 years until his death in 2004. He never saw the whale with his own eyes. His last paper he left behind, which summarized 12 years of biological data, the conclusion is only one sentence. The sound source is unique. In the entire monitoring range, there is no second one. Back to the 52 Hertz whale's sound, how special it is. The blue whale's call frequency is 10 to 39 Hertz. The humpback whale is 20 Hertz, while its frequency is 52 Hertz. What does this mean? It means that every word it says in the ears of other whales is like you saying hello to people in a market with ultrasound. No one can hear it, and no one will turn around. What's even more outrageous is that it's not just that its voice is wrong, its migration route is different from any known whale on Earth. When blue whales migrate north, when minke whales migrate southward for winter, it travels alone across the entire Pacific Ocean. Every year from August to December, its calls appear in hydrophones on time. After January, the signal disappears. No one knows where it goes. It swims 30 to 70 kilometers a day. In the farthest season, it swam over 11,000 kilometers. 11,000 kilometers, without a single companion. Scientists tracked him for 12 years and found that his voice was gradually getting lower, from 50 Hertz to about 40 Hertz. What does this mean? It means he is growing up. A whale that grew up alone. It has been calling from adolescence to middle age. None of his peers responded to him once. What species is it? No one knows. Some say it may be a hybrid of blue whales and fin whales, because hybrids do exist in nature. Scientists have found in the genome of the blue whale, found an unusually high proportion of fin whale DNA. Some people guess it's just an ordinary blue whale, but it has some kind of congenital defect in its vocal cords, just like a person whose natural speaking tone is different from others. Some people suspect that it may be deaf. A deaf whale is shouting desperately in the sea. It doesn't know that the sound it makes, no one can accept it. But in 2015, director of Cornell's Bioacoustics Research Project, Christopher Clark, said something unexpected. He said that other whales could actually hear him. Blue whales can hear, minke whales can hear it, and humpback whales can hear it. They are not deaf, but the sound of this whale is too strange. It's like you're walking down the street and suddenly someone speaks in an accent you've never heard, talks to you. You can hear him, but you're not sure what he's saying. Would you respond? Probably not. You will walk around. So the real tragedy of the 52 Hertz whale is not that no one can hear it, but everyone heard it, but no one is willing to answer. In 2010, a turning point occurred. Hydrophones on the California coast at different locations at the same time recorded two 52 Hertz calls. This means there may be a second 52 Hertz whale. Marine biologists around the world were excited. He was no longer the only one. He finally had a companion. But unfortunately, from 2010 to now, there has been no second confirmation. That recording may have just been a coincidence, or it could be a device error. Hope came, and then it was gone. In 2021, director Joshua Zeman made a documentary called The Loneliest Whale in Search of 52. He took his team out to sea, trying to find the whale with sonar and tagging devices. Near the coast of Los Angeles, they really recorded the 52 Hertz call. But ironically, that area is one of the busiest shipping channels in the world. The noise of cargo ships covered everything. The director said something. What we worry about is not failing to find it, but that its voice is being drowned out by human noise. This is the cruelest truth. The enemy of the 52 Hertz whale is not sharks or predators, but the ocean-going freighters of human beings. Military sonar and underwater drilling are dumped into the sea every day, billions of decibels of noise. Whales communicate by sound, to mate and navigate by sound, but now we are turning the entire ocean into a huge noise factory. You may not know that the speed of sound in water is more than 4 times that in air. This means that the sound of a cargo ship's engine can travel thousands of kilometers underwater, and the communication distance of whales is also over 1,000 kilometers. The entire ocean is their social network, but now is being cut off by human noise. Studies have shown that in the past 50 years, the background noise in the ocean doubles every 10 years. Whales have to shout louder and louder, just like you're in a noisy bar trying to talk to your friends and finally give up. In this environment, even if there is a second 52 Hertz whale, they may never hear each other. There is an Easter egg at the end of the documentary. During the tracking process, the research team, they found a hybrid of a blue whale and a fin whale. Its appearance is different from that of ordinary blue whales, with a larger dorsal fin, with blurry stripes on its skin. Scientists observed that this hybrid whale was feeding with 15 to 25 blue whales and even swam closely side by side with another. This discovery makes scientists rethink a question. If the 52 Hertz whale is indeed a hybrid, it may not be as lonely as we thought. It may be in the whale group, it may be just using an accent that others can't understand, silently living with them. In January 2025, researcher John Columbuk and Geddes at a public lecture mentioned this whale. There was a man sitting in the audience. George was retired from the Navy. He first heard the sound from the hydrophone, heard the 52 Hertz sound. On that night in 1989, he thought he heard the engine of an enemy submarine. He wrote the words "unknown source" in the report and then turned to the next page and continued working. What he didn't know was that that sound would touch hundreds of millions of people, touching hundreds of millions of people around the world. 36 years later, he sat in the audience with white hair. He finally knew it was the cry of a whale. It is said that everyone present was silent. A soldier from the Cold War era and a whale that had been lonely all its life, separated by 36 years, in the same room, completed a long-delayed recognition. The lifespan of a blue whale is about 90 years. If the 52 Hertz whale was discovered in 1989, it was already a young whale. By today, it may have lived 40 or 50 years. It is still swimming in some corner of the Pacific Ocean. It appears on time every year and disappears on time. No one has seen his appearance, but his voice has been heard by millions of people around the world. Someone wrote it into a novel. In 2020, Japanese writer Tan Kizi published the novel 52 Hertz Whale, using this whale to describe those who can't make a sound in the crowd. In 2024, the novel was adapted into a movie. The South Korean boys band BTS also wrote a song for it called William 52. A goldfish that has never been seen by anyone has become the spiritual totem of lonely people worldwide. Perhaps the story of the 52 Hertz whale has touched so many people is not because it is truly lonely, but because each of us, at some point in time, felt that no one could understand the sound they made. But Professor Clark is right. They can hear you, but they haven't replied yet.